Well, good afternoon. First, thank you for inviting me to be here. First time in Estonia. What an amazing city. What an amazing venue. What an interesting conference. I will try to not to lower the level because this morning has been really interesting. We in Spain, we in Spain have this time, is siesta time. It's time to have a nap. So I will try to do my best so as to prevent the situation. I will check on you because it's not good to have you sleeping here. When I received the invitation, first idea, so another opportunity to talk about what I'm more used to. So digital twins, smart city projects, and then I received, so digital resilience. Oh my God, what's that? Well, what's that? I have to prepare another presentation. But the good thing is that after the data that I am going to talk about later, I was asked from the from the Regional Federation of Villages and Cities to prepare a course for using digital technologies for resilience. So then, oh my God, good. Then I have to adapt because it's a 15-hour course, and I had to reduce and to add the new things because we will discuss about also cybersecurity. And then after this first idea, I thought, well, how can I focus the attention on this digital resilience? And then I check the risks. So when I have seen the first presentation this morning and I have seen something related to that, I have thought, oh my God, my presentation will be spoiled, and I don't know what to talk about during it. But fortunately, it has been only one slide. And here I have included this group of risks: technological, environmental, social, geopolitics, and economic. And this is the ranking in 2024. Then some of the topics that I was going to deal with were quite high in the ranking. But 1 year later, things have changed. So as you can see, state-based armed conflict is the first. And I guess that if we would carry out this survey now, it would be more than 50%. So this bar would be extremely long. So geopolitics are the main threat now. But as this is not on the scope of a city, because I'm, as the moderator has said, I'm representing the city of Valencia. And Valencia is the third city in terms of population in Spain. So we have 850,000 inhabitants, the metropolitan area twice, 1.5 million approximately. And so we are a quite big city. And we are not dealing with these issues. We are focusing on some aspects that in this presentation will be dealt. So, zooming in these risks in the first, in the top 10, let me say we see that we have extreme weather events in the second position, and some technological issues, fake news, and so on, quite high too. And I will focus my presentation in these two group of risks. So, then first, I will deal with extreme weather events. And let me start with a story of resilience. 1957, Valencia. We suffered a terrible flood that covered the whole city. So it was not the first time, but probably it was the worst. So a lot of people were killed, disappeared, and the city was completely covered by water. You know that this river, during the year, is well, it's dry, no water, only a small thread of water and a useless public space. And then, after this flood, we carried out probably the most high-impact transformation, urban transformation. I would say one of the biggest in Europe, but let me show you. So we diverted the river to the south part of the city. So this is the former river. This that is just in the middle, in green. And then we diverted to the south, this blue one. So again, most of the year is has no water or little of water, but when it rains in Valencia, it rains. So it should be dimensioned according to these eventual big rainfalls. But then we had an opportunity to change. So, and we took advantage of that. So now, this old river is that. So you can see here, this is a linear park. It's, I would say, one of the main assets in the city. So it's a linear park with 9 kilometers that is parts of the river or the garden are forests, other are sports fields, sport courts, so very interesting. There are a lot of monuments next to the river, so it's a very nice place to walk, to ride a bike, so it's a lively place. So it's a history of change. So we took the opportunity from this disaster to change. And I wanted to start with this. And what happened in 2024? 1.5 years ago, a new disaster happened. The Dana, it's a huge rainfall that caused extremely bad damages. So more than 240 people were killed. So the economic impact was dramatic. And, we knew that it could happen, but not with this scope. So the rainfall was extremely big. You can see here the metropolitan area. So this is the city center, I would say. This is the new river, where Turia, here. And this is the south metropolitan area. This right after the rainfalls, everything was covered by mud. So it was a drama. The economic and human damages were extremely high. You can see here the scope of the floods. It was amazing how much water was there. So it's incredible. 70 villages and cities were affected by this Dana. So the impact was extremely high. You can see here some pictures. So we had trucks floating like paper boats. So they moved the water bring all the cars, and you could see this picture not only here, in a lot of cities. So we had more than 150,000 cars completely destroyed. So useless. And also with infrastructures. You can see highways, railways, so everything. It was a disaster that the scope is extremely high. So you can't imagine if you wouldn't be there until, even I saw on the news, on TV, but when I went to help, to assist some of my friends, I noticed that the scope of this disaster. But fortunately, we had the people. People, the motto of this, after this disaster was, people saved the people. So waves of solidarity. In fact, this is a bridge that after the disaster, the new name for the bridge is the Solidarity Bridge, because a lot of people from the city moved to support this area. Because if you can see, let me go back. The city of Valencia wasn't affected. The new river prevent the flood for affecting the city. So this infrastructure has saved us from a new flood. But a lot of people from the city went to these villages in the South metropolitan area, even people from other parts of Spain, firefighters, military people, so people from the army. And so it meant a wave of solidarity that at least this was good for human feelings that, well, we thought that young people thought were not committed with nothing, and after this disaster, we noticed that well, there are a lot of people that well, realized that something had to be done, and they supported friends and people who didn't know before. And then, after starting with the tools that we are going to present or risk, environmental risk that we are facing, we try to sort this list of things. We, in City of Valencia, we are vulnerable to floods, mainly, to heat waves. We don't have volcanoes, earthquakes is not frequent, wildfires, the region is potentially vulnerable, and also, obviously, to human threats. But I will deal with that a bit later. Well, and in this course that I'm giving to other municipalities, I try to select some tools that, starting from our own experience, things that we have used for dealing with our disaster. First, GIS. It's crucial to have all the resources, all the things that are that belong to the city or the metropolitan area, geo-located is crucial. Internet of Things, sensors that could be deployed in different rivers or different storms or wherever. Digital twins. So this one of the fields in which I'm working harder at this moment. And business intelligence. So data. All these things, if I should put in a nutshell, is data. With regards to GIS, a specific experience, service. So we have the resources, but we don't know what is happening right now, right after the disaster. And we designed a survey that is a tool, very easy. In 2 hours, we had some forms, and we designed, the first step was to not more than 2 hours. Then install these tools in mobile devices, tablets or mobile phones. And then inspection people went to the field and captured some data, and then this data is transferred to the desktop computer and is analyzed. So I have included some examples in which we dealt with 3 main aspects: the status of the cleanliness of the roads, of the streets, the areas with debris and vehicles that hadn't been removed before, and businesses, because a lot of impact had the floods with the commercial and other activities, the economic activities. So with this, we carried out some waves and checked the improvement, how the businesses were reopening after the dana. Well, it's a successful experience in which these inspection teams went to the field and captured this with pictures and have all the information automatically, because they sent directly to the office all this data. Next type of tool that we are using, digital twins. So, as you may know, digital twins are virtual replicas of the current reality. And at least they have 4 components. First, 3D visualization, normally with high level of detail. Data, and data normally that should be in real-time data. We have this working because we have connected our Arman platform with the GIS. With this data that are the for these digital twins, we carry out some analytics, apply artificial intelligence algorithms so as to predict or even prescript new things that should be done. And really crucial aspect is the possibility of defining simulation scenarios. What if? What could happen if? And this is crucial for natural disasters. And I would include a new word that we are dealing with in some aspects, that is the CitiVERSE. That is kind of a digital twin, but including the immersive component. So when we discuss about digital twins, we normally distinguish different levels of maturity. A descriptive one that describes what's happening right now. The predictive one, what is going to happen in the next hours, next days, next weeks. And prescriptive one, what should I do to improve something? But I have included there in the middle simulator, what would happen if. So in my opinion, it's a lower level of intelligence that is necessary for carrying out these simulation scenarios. And transversally, I have included CitiVERSE as an immersive component for these digital twins. Another tool that could be used and had been used is the IoT devices. So IoT devices are sensors that could be used for different things, for different types of disasters. But the main thing is that they allow us to get the data immediately, real-time data. So, and then, obviously, it makes it easier to react in an agile way. So in all the stages of the disaster, they could be applied. So prevention, management, and resilience or recovery. So here you have some sensors that we are running out of time, but depending on the type of natural disaster, you have a different type of sensors for all type of disasters, but I will skip. I guess that we are going to share the presentation, so it's not worth to spend more time in this. So last tool that I would like to highlight are the business intelligence tools. So data. So it allows us to manage a huge amount of data that normally could be analyzed and produced as visual tools, so dashboards that are easier to understand for decision makers. So it could be used as the other tools that I have mentioned before in different stages of the disasters. So in prevention, you have early warning dashboards according to some alerts that could be launched. So some analysis that could be defined depending on different analysis from the GIS, or predictive models based on AI and business intelligence, and some reports that could be produced automatically. So during the management, you have different tools that could be heat maps, could be, for example, so these tools that you can be a sensor. A person could be a sensor with wearables, for example, to manage teams of reaction. Having these wearables is easier to manage from a control center the different teams that are working in a wildfire or in a flood. And recovery, you have different tools for analysis, post-analysis, the tools that I have mentioned before, as, for example, this analysis of the data captured by the service from GIS, and so on. And I have included an example about the use of data from right after the data. So the day after, as the statistic office is included in my department, in Smart City and Data Management, so we manage a lot of data in different fields, and we were asked to produce some dashboards in an agile way to analyze some potentially vulnerabilities. So potential vulnerabilities, for example, households in which all the members are seniors in different thresholds of age. So older than 65, older than 79, households with only one person, or with children in schooler age, because after the Dana, schools were closed, so and they should be reallocated. All these analyses were carried out in a while, let me say. And we also dealt with businesses, so distinguishing in different types of activities. Also with vehicles, so as to analyze how many vehicles were registered in this area, and also with buildings, so as to check how many houses we have in ground floors and so on. Some dashboards that I'm not going to spend time, but here you have, for example, for vehicles, for demographic aspects, buildings, and more demographic issues. Technology, I will only spend a couple of minutes more. Here you have some risks. First would be fake news, and another is cyber insecurity. I will focus on that. And we, in the municipality, were tackling this by different tools. We in Spain have the ENS, that is the National Schema for Cybersecurity, that is aligned with different initiatives at the European level. And we in the municipality normally, our goal is to have the medium certification level. So, and with that, we deal with physical security, logical security, and so on. So we have defined an office for cybersecurity, and we have the Security Operational Center. And we are acting at 3 levels. First, defining policies, procedures, so at governance level. So we are carrying out producing some documents that are our policy for cybersecurity that should be explained to all the people that are working, and this is the second, the training. With this, we are giving courses to the different employees, but also trying to test them. We send fake phishing messages so as to check if they are pushing and if they are clicking on the link, so they have to go to the course and repeat. And some active measures that consist on buying more hardware and software tools, antivirus and different tools that I don't have time to explain. And why cyber attacks? Cyber attacks are because of different reasons. These 4 are the main reasons that we have identified. And last, regarding cybersecurity, most of us are officers or people with a specific level of responsibility. Why we are targets of these cyber attacks? Because we manage relevant information. We normally travel quite a lot. We use mobile devices that are more vulnerable. And you have here some potential threats that we are we could be potentially attacked by all this. If necessary, I would spend time in the panel that we will carry out right after this presentation, because I'm running out of time. To finish with some conclusions, so they're obvious. We are exposed to different types of risks. We have a lot of tools. There are some cyber risks that potentially could affect the cities and the officer in particular. And as I have mentioned before, from a drama, from a disaster, we could have an opportunity to have resilience. And to finish with, I would put on the table 2 things. Data that could, in a word, compile all these aspects that are crucial for tackling these risks, these threats. And, confidence. So we need to create confidence at different levels. But I think that I believe if I have time, I will develop this later in the panel. But as we don't have more time, I wanted to finish with these messages to go and be developed in the next panel. So thank you for your attention, and we are open to have questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I just remind everyone that you can ask questions again through Slido. OK, very quick question from the public, and then we move on to the panel. Thank you.
How big is the Valencia data? Can you use the common machine learning tactics to analyze them, or maybe are you thinking about the quantum ones? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the use of data is one of the things that I would have liked to spend more time on that, because, in my opinion, we are producing a lot of data that most of the times are not being used. So we have developed some dashboards for different levels of responsibility, for politicians, for officers, and we check the usage of them, and so we are deceived because, well, you have excellent dashboards, a lot of information, but it's not being used. So then we are not taking advantage of all the potentialities of this data. So I normally use in my presentation a word that is datacracy. So decision-making by data. But sometimes this huge amount of data and the use that we are doing with this data came to my mind the other day to change the C by Z. They take crazy. Crazy. We're getting crazy, first, for not using data, and second, could be because we have too much data. And then managing in the right way is crucial, in my opinion. So, and we are involved in some projects that try to improve this. So we are starting from, we have the data, but we will try to give use and good use for this data in the right way to the right person at the right level of decision making.
Thank you.